he might be really loud, so I can always stop it. I don't know why games do that, where you have to tab across and then you lose the screen and then you have to tab. It's just...
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
It's me.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
It's us. Okay, we're in control. Right, let me just... It's quite high, the sensitivity. That's better. Basically, I've never played this. I know the concept. I think I might just be naughty this time. I'm not gonna leave yet. Does he say anything? Okay, I don't think he's gonna say anything. Okay, I left. Back in. Safety of my office. Can I sit down again? No, I don't think so. Can't seem to do anything. Oh, I can close my door.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
I literally said I'm safe.
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
It wouldn't let me leave. It wouldn't let me leave. Any second now. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I think it's because I walked out and walked back in again.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Awaiting input. Oh. Oh, weird.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Went around touching every fucking thing possible. Okay. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Yeah.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Stunning. Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. This was important. Let's get going then.
Yeah, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did I?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yay, the walk-on worked! Yay, what's up? Oi, oi. How you doing? She has had her hair cut. She's slightly self-conscious about the hair, but she's liking the hair. It's just new. It's very new. It's slightly different. How you doing? Okay. I'm ignoring him, basically. Show off the full haircut. Oh. I get anxious. I get anxious. I've lost my screen. I have basically a slight mullet. It's really dark in my office? Huh? How is it dark in my office? But yeah, this is the hair. I've gone slightly different. It's very choppy. I have a full fringe. But yeah, thank you. Thank you. I came out and I was like, oh my god. Not like, oh my god, she's done a terrible job. She did what I asked her to, but I was like, oh god, it's new. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. But yeah, let's get back to Stanley. I don't know what you mean about it being dark in here though. I've got my light and everything on. But yeah, how are you? How was your day? Here we go. Back to it. I have to tab in, tab out. It's so stupid. Oh no, I didn't press. Crap. Crap. Oh, crap. Come on. As it pulls off, pulls off everything. The slag. What a slag. Okay. Do not jump from the cargo lift, okay?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
Danger everywhere.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Do we give him a chance? She puts on sweats. I wear the same look like a gnome. Oh, I'm sorry you're tired. I'm sorry you're tired. You can chill out and chill with us. Chill with us. We're not going to listen to him? Okay. You're not. Neither of you know me. Stop it. Although we'd be sick gnomes in a garden, wouldn't we? We'd look great. Oh yes, you have tomorrow off.
Now listen
Very
carefully,
nice.
this is important.
Sounds good.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Did I?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No. No, I didn't.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to
Yes.
find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Can I be the fishing one in the pond, please?
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it
Yes.
worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
No! No! You forced me into it. No. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version.
Okay.
Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful.
I like the
You
number
didn't
2.
like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Previous
Let's take
playthrough?
a look.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. That is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. I'll go this way then.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of the new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity
This
to
is
give
my
it some
humour, yeah,
playtesting.
for sure.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me
Okay.
boot it up.
If we have to. If we must.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Yeah. This is, yeah. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. Get me out. Let me out. Let me out, please.
This bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas.
It's the first one.
I can't think of a single thing that might improve the
It's-
experience for me.
it's the spirit
I'm
of it.
not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes.
I don't want it.
Seems like it'll work.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that, Hagland. Minecraft!
Is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely
Hello,
nothing
Hagland.
to do with.
How are you? Thank you for the 100.
Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Where?
This will go here. No, here. And then...
Where's the front door?
See, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete.
It's lovely.
I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
I
Isn't
will.
it grand? Isn't it perfect?
It's
It
lovely.
could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Hagland. By the way, I thought I'd stop because I'm not going to try and play the game. Are you okay? Is there anything we can do to help? Which I'm aware is a very big question. But if there is anything we can do to help, please let me know. And I'm really sorry. But good on you for going on some sick leave. Take some space. And have some self-care. That's what's important. I will continue the game, but I'm telling you, if you need anything, you know where I am. I'm stuck in Minecraft. Alright? But welcome in.
Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. This is ridiculous.
My,
Do I get the rights for this then?
Have you brought a light?
No. Did you? Did you bring a light?
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
What game is it going to be?
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass
Portal!
box with no way out.
Portal!
Listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
This is Portal! This is amazing! I didn't know this was in this game.
It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
I've got this. You watch, narrator. I've got this. Oh
No,
yeah.
actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these.
Oh shit! Oh shit, that was so cool. Okay. Filing cabinets. Like the back end of the game. Okay. Where can I go? This way? This is so weird. Okay. Ooh. He's gone. It's my room. Pick all the buttons. Where do we go? Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Was that another ending? Oh. This wasn't like this before, was it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Was it all covered in paper
Stanley
before?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Was this covered in paper before? I feel like it wasn't. Okay, I'll follow him this time. We'll do it. Or do we be naughty again?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I feel like I'll listen to him for now. Now's the time to have a kind of snacky thing, then, Kat, of like one of the like those like skinny whips, and like someone's gonna make this into a cheeky joke, but like suck on it for as long as you can.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, how to solve a dispute with a co-worker. Let it ball up inside of you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other co-workers. Resent co-workers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header, and throw some bevel on all the text. Everyone is unique. You most of all. What is hot? Profits. Number of slides on the slide. What the fuck? Amazing. I know, that's why you need to suck on it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do we go up or down? I'll take the first answer I get. Or I'll decide. I feel like I want to be bad and ignore him. I hate that one so much. I hate it so much. But thank you for the 100 bits. I hate it so much. It makes me think there's someone at my door. I'm going down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
What the
Stanley
fuck?
marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
Oh, I'm glad.
One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Just scare the shit out of me continuously.
Voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking. Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
This is me every morning. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I'm still here!
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I had a mental breakdown.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Is that another ending? I think I've got 3 now. How many endings are there to this game? This is fantastic. We're back. There's no paper though. So weird. So why did the paper appear? So weird. Probably struggling demand. Oh, well, that's why I said you need to... I would also get off the sofa. I would come upstairs, move yourself from this situation, get yourself a snack of some kind and a drink, and yeah, that's what I would suggest. So many. Yeah, I can imagine there's like a lot. Okay, let's listen to him this time.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
I also like that it changes every time. It's not just the same dialogue. Okay. All right. I'll listen to you this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
If you do them now, though, it's done. That's what you need to do. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is this his fucking office? Executive I want to go in the bathroom. It's a big office. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
How do I get down? Is it in there?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
How do I see it though? Hang on. How do I... Let me change the controls.
2845.
Yeah, but where the fuck is it? Is it in his drawer? Well, yeah, sometimes it's good.
But the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. What could he do?
I couldn't. Oh my god, it's literally there. I did it. I thought it was underneath the desk. I'm stupid. Okay. All right. I'll bite. Down we go.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Where are we?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although though this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I just can't. Oh, I'm okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Goodbye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What the fuck?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This is amazing. This is absolutely fantastic. So, let's just start here. Nature paintings. You're gonna move your ass now. Good on ya. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. What's this? Stanley's computer. Corridor. The pacing of this corridor section was important to get right. Corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The two doors. The set of two doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged, and as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. I love this. A selection of sounds throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Or I like 5. And I actually like 3. Very nice. Credits. Written, designed. This is amazing. The office. Maintenance room. This is so cool. Greenlight. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of improving games for... Yeah, Nova's asleep on her tree. For Steam, the Greenlight page is only a series of cryptic photos, which was still enough to win the community's approval. Oh, I love it. This is brilliant. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here is a selection of these emails. While playing Stanley Parable, help me make friends. Are you spying on me? That's so good. Okay. The lounge. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading you to the apartment ending, not got there, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. This is mad. Is this like, this must be another ending in itself, right? Maintenance layout, a few of the hallways. This is so cool. Okay. Okay, let's...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. Your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time.
I wonder what would happen if I pressed quit. I assume I would just quit the game. Do I have to restart the game? Because I died. Do I have to restart? There's no way. Begin the game again. Wait, this is different. This is different, isn't it? Yeah, this is different.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors.
This
He
is
entered
quicker.
the door on his left.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, all right. We'll listen to him now. That's so cool. This is amazing. This is absolutely
Yet there was
amazing.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Dying does
Stanley
happen.
decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's
can't remember
desk,
what it was called.
pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code
Hello.
by sheer luck. Amazing.
Here we
He
go.
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hang on. 2 seconds. Okay. I guess we're going down again. We're going down. I'm going down. I hope everybody's good, by the way. I know that some of you have said you're not so good, but I hope you're okay. I hope you're enjoying this. I wanted to get this. I think I might play through in my own time, try and get all the endings as well. Considering I imagine there's a million guides online.
That read mind control facility.
Yeah, I'll do it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Also, I think there's a PlayStation State of Play on at 9 o'clock. I need to check though for sure.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their
Oh,
true
wow.
nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
2 seconds. State of Play. (11 p.m. UK time? Really? Oh man, is it that late? That is crazy. That is crazy. 11 p.m. I thought it was at 9. But yeah, there's a PlayStation State of Play. I think they're going to announce Ghost of Tsushima 2. Where am I?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh, he's been fired over there.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
That's
in
bedtime.
someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. I'll do it. Through here? No worries. What kind of Thai curry?
When at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was
I
his
like
duty,
red Thai curry.
his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
A little bit of green and a little bit of red.
He
Oh,
had won.
nice.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Can I
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Yes, I'm enjoying this.
Liberation. The immense
I
possibility.
think I've had like, what, this is going to be 5 endings?
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. Is that real? Oh, it must be, because it only came up on my screen. Beat the game. Okay, let's do the same thing.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How
But
amazing they'll find it. Oh,
I don't know how many
they'll
endings.
just
Does someone
laugh
want to
and
look it
laugh
up?
At the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
I can't, unfortunately, it's really difficult to tab out of this game. 19, okay. So I've
Stanley
had
came
like
to a
5.
set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
So if I'll do this again, and I'll turn it on instead.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I keep forgetting the code.
The moment he entered his manager's
2845.
office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay, fine. I'll wait.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay. If there's a particular ending you know of that you want me to get or see, just let me know. I'm happy to play them through. You can always look up a guide, to be fair.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee.
To be fair, I played it once and was like, I
Stanley's
finished!
the lives of so many individuals.
So many endings as well.
On the screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
I saw someone play this the other day, which is what made me think about getting it.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be
down,
true.
yeah.
Had Stanley really been under
And I'd love to get to the
control
bit that
all
she
this
was at.
time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Excuse me, sorry.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
There's probably a load of things that I've
Controls labelled
missed.
with emotions.
A load of options.
Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yeah.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
Hang
I'll
on.
tell you exactly
What's
what
this?
happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
Wait, what?
Sometimes when
Okay,
I tell it, I simply let you
0521.
sit there in your office forever,
Where's
pushing
zero?
buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not?
5.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Sold? Do you have any idea what
Press
your
any
purpose
key
in
to
this place is?
send power source.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Goodbye,
Take a look at
employee.
the clock,
427.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
I don't know.
Just you being blown.
I feel like there must be something.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will
Go
look after
where?
every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
So what? There must be something I can do in that room. There must be. There was a door that was open, but it closed as I ran towards it. And then obviously he was saying, oh, hang on. Very different location.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Weird. This is different.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes,
Right, I'll go
this room.
This way
But
now.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Where does this go then?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
Went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
No.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Should I do it again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
This way. This way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. This is brilliant. Hi. Oh, God.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yes!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good
Thank you.
job. Oh,
Thank you.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Okay.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh. No! Let us go that... Oh, Stanley.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How
Great.
simple is that?
Foolproof. Fool proof.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought.
I need this
Wouldn't
assistance in
wherever
real
we
life.
end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey
Parkour.
such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being
Parkour.
via
Parkour.
the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Parkour.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
Parkour.
Not sure where I
Parkour.
was going with all that. You know what? I think
Parkour.
what we need right now is a bit of
Parkour.
music to lighten the mood.
Oh, nice. Parkour. Parkour. Vibes. Vibes are up. Huh? Whoop. Whoop.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Weirdly said. Huh?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Got it. Got it.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story?
This way.
Is any of this ringing a bell?
It's definitely this way. Oh!
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you. After
It pains me
everything
that
we've
you
been
played
through,
this through once. I
No,
missed all of
can't take
this.
anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Just quick, just in case places have got it wrong, I'm just going to see if the Sony thing is live. They don't have anything in there. Yeah, I don't have anything in their thing about today, so it must be 11. Oh well, we'll have to do catch up tomorrow on what was spoken
You know
about.
what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're
Okay.
intelligent people, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we make up our own story?
True.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now,
Sure.
yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Okay. This is so good. Okay.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From
Okay.
here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Sorry,
And
I
that
can't
in
help you,
turn
narrator. I'm
means that
walking.
our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes,
Can I
then
stop
by all
walking now?
accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times?
8th restart, the narrator's gone. After a long time,
Really
Stanley
how it
dies.
always goes? It's all determined?
This is so
So
good.
now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Okay. No. Is he doing the sort of
All
classic
of his co-workers were gone. What
up and
did it
down?
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, bless him. I don't know where to go now.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, bless.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Okay. Down we go. This game is brilliant. That's really sad, by the way. Bless him. Hoping you fall asleep soon. It's 9 o'clock. Excuse me, sorry.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Is this still the confusion ending? Because technically he's forgotten about the restarts.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
That's what it
Their
said.
true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
So I don't know what I need to press in that other room, but he said there was nothing.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
It's not on,
For
is it?
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Because I have to turn it on for this to work. I wonder if there is a way to get through this room. Should we look up endings? I'm trying to figure out whether it's worth like trying to do them ourselves or not.
And when at last he found the source of the... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of
Press
the
the button
story.
down.
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then
3.
dying alone.
Incorrect.
Other
Re-enter
times, I
password.
let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything.
Okay, hang on. I want to look up what I need to do. Because I don't want to have to redo this whole thing. Stanley, I might have to redo it, but... Trying to have a look. Getting stuck. Just trying to see. There's a load of different endings. Trying to figure out what we've gotten. I don't think we can get out of here.
It's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me in the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Okay.
Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Okay, so let's have a look. Let's disobey.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Let's just try.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business,
Speed run.
Stanley took the first open door on
Yeah,
his
there's no
left.
way of knowing them otherwise, I feel like.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Stanley is me. Okay, we're gonna do that again. There's a different variation of it.
All of his co-workers
See if I can do
were
it.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Look, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and...
That's another one.
Oops, looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Okay, there's another one. Hello? That wasn't ringing before. That definitely wasn't ringing before, right? Okay. So this one, I'm going to disobey to reach the warehouse.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ooh,
Stanley felt
lovely.
lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business,
Okay.
Stanley took the first open door on
Instead
his
of
left.
using the lift or falling to your death, inch across the ledge on the left until you fall down
Stanley was
near
so
an
bad at
open
following
vent.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Inch across. Can I jump in this game? I feel like... Yeah, no, I definitely can't. Inch ledge to the left. Inch across the ledge on the left until you fall down near an open vent you can crouch into. I mean, where's the vent? Is that a vent?
But in
No.
his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do,
This is easy to
Stanley
do in
leapt from the
Stanley
platform
Parable 2.
and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. Maybe we'll try a different one. Because I can't understand that one.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Definitely. That's why. Definitely why.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. I shan't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. Right.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Answer the phone. Oh great, my apartment's the same number.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Good morning, employee 47. Press O on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
That's called the apartment ending. Okay, I think we'll do this last one. And then I might leave it there. Okay, so like the apartment ending, disobey the narrator but allow the cargo lift.
What could it mean?
Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But
This was called the
to get
Not
back to
Stanley
business,
ending,
Stanley took
the one that I'm gonna
first
do.
open door on his left.
Okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley.
Okay, so we go
your
through.
chance to redeem yourself. To put your work
Instead of
aside,
answering the phone, we
to let
unplug it.
her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Okay.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
Okay.
But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if
Less.
you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
True.
We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. I'm gonna go back. Do not lie. If you're lying right now, stop. Okay.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Okay. We're gonna take...
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
I'm gonna take the wrong
quite
door.
Sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Go back this way. And the meeting room's all messed up. Yeah.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Okay. So we now take... It's not quite the ending yet.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Did I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
It's like my dad talking to me. Oh.
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility.
I kind of know what you mean, though, even though you're joking. I also...
It was so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
Okay.
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
It's not quite the ending now.
Choosing responsibly and always putting the story.
So we're going to
first.
take the left
sure
door.
You'll be up to the task. Just follow
Excuse
my
me.
lead and you'll be fine. All
Right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm going to take the left. Okay. We'll allow the game to proceed as normal without the option to go downstairs. Because there's a railing there.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
You can't look. They put a railing there now.
Walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But this is going to be different. Because there's no keypad. Look. It's different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief.
The mapping on this is
orchestrated
insane.
until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work?
What's
There was
funny
only
is
one
it
way
wants you to
find
talk,
out.
but you can't talk.
Stanley had been trained
and
never
it
to
can't
speak
access
up,
your
but
microphone.
now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
That's so good.